Guys? Okay, we're coming. And you can switch over to Logic.
Right now?
Yeah, you can switch over because you're going to need
We're live.
We are live. Family's coming in.
Oh. Hey. Hey, they saw me tapping on me, Mom. Are we live?
It is live.
Oh, right now, starting?
What's going on, family?
The whole family's in here, guys. But we are back. This is Brothers of the Serpent, and we are live. Not live. Coming to you live from the Magic Cube of Science. Yes. Where we are nestled amongst the dusty bones of an ancient seabed. High atop the Everest Plateau. So we're trying this out. This is the first time. We brought the entire family in. So we've got Snake Mom, Snake Stash. There's Soul. You guys know Soul. There he is. And Lila. And of course, we're joined by Laura. Laura's going to stay in here for the whole show, But the rest, okay, get out of here. Get out of our studio. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah, Sands of Time. We don't really need these.
We don't need the sands of time.
Bye, fam.
So this is a new thing for us. We've gone live a bunch with Randall and Brad for their YouTube channel, but we've never done it for Brothers of the Serpent. So this will be interesting, because normally we have breaks. So this will be a breakless show. No breaks, straight through.
Which I'm nervous about.
You think you can do it?
We'll
You're going to have to
know.
go pee.
I'm going to have to probably
She may get up and leave. It's okay. No one say anything.
Yes. Please don't make me more nervous about it than I already am.
So normally with the new format, we do all of the intro stuff at the end. But on the listener communication shows, we do that stuff at the beginning again. So let's go ahead and do some space weather news. Do you have that queued up? Maybe not. Button's not working.
Man, I was late. Hold on a second. What I got here? Surely I have.
And what about my intro?
Oh, there's something. Well, you were supposed to do it when the music started.
Oh.
There it is. Space Weather News from spaceweather.com. So, a note to readers. This is interesting. Spaceweather.com is written by Dr. Tony Phillips from a location in the Sierra Nevada mountains at 8,500-foot elevation. This winter's record-setting snowfall, avalanches, and frequent evacuations are impacting the production of the website. So you're going to see more typos than usual. Proofreading is appreciated, but please report these errors in a respectful way, mindful of the fact that we're stretched thin, working in the middle of a disaster zone. Now for the good news, it's almost spring. So that's interesting. And I want to say, Dr. Tony Phillips, this is the person behind spaceweather.com. That would be a good guy to get on the show.
Yeah, let's get him on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Dr. Phillips. We love your website. We've been using it for years. So Sunspot AR3245 is splitting into two. They've got a 24-hour movie from NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory that shows the sunspot's primary core dividing like a eukaryotic cell as it turns toward Earth. The nature of light bridges is not fully understood. They often herald the breakup of a sunspot, with jets of plasma shooting up from the chasm as the sunspot decays. Some research suggests that magnetic fields at the base of a light bridge are busy crossing and reconnecting, the same explosive process that sparks solar flares. So does this mean that sunspot AR3245 will explode or quietly fall apart? No one can say. Current conditions: solar wind speed is 441.8 kilometers per second. The density is 4.41 protons per cubic centimeter. Current sunspot number is 173. The neutron count is 0.3% below the space age average. And the KP index is 1, which is quiet. 24-hour max is 3.33, which is also quiet. And that is your space weather news for the week.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Bitcoin, what's the deal?
Ooh.
Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it staying stable? What is going on?
What is going on?
I have been wondering.
You have been wondering?
I have been.
Well, it looks like it might be up a little bit. I don't know. So, okay, BTC, $22,190.44, and ETH is $1,564.75. So that's pretty stable. It's up a little bit. My balance is definitely up from the last time I looked at it. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, I have one story.
All right.
And everybody already knows it. Egypt unveils hidden corridor in Giza pyramid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this one is phys.org.
Plenty of people sending me this article.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
If you listen to the show, you probably already know this, so I can just skip it entirely.
Hey, thanks, Annie Davis. Hey, buddy.
Oh.
I know who that is. He wants pterodactyl noises.
Hell yeah. Maybe I can play some music.
And Gary, $50. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. He says y'all need to do lives on a regular basis. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Pterodactyl noises. They're coming. You're getting them, oh boy. So yeah, I guess if you don't know about it, they discovered a chamber in the Great Pyramid that is, I think, it's like above the entrance, right? It's those.
Yeah. This is scan pyramid stuff, right? Isn't that what?
I thought they put an endoscope up there.
They did. I thought it was related to the Scan Pyramids project, though. Maybe I've got this totally wrong.
I haven't even read the story.
Okay, yeah, all right. Going in cold, folks. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what do we have.
It's like, yeah, I saw it, and I'm like, bookmark.
Mm-hmm.
An international research team has discovered a previously unknown chamber in the Cheops Pyramid of Giza. As early as 2016, measurements had given reason to assume the existence of a hidden hollow space in the vicinity of the chevron blocks over the entrance. Now, scientists from Technical University of Munich have used ultrasound and endoscopy to make... turn that Wi-Fi off. To make an important contribution to confirming this assumption. The status of the Egyptian pyramid as one of the best investigated structures in the world makes this find particularly important. The Cheops Pyramid is considered the largest and oldest of the pyramids in Giza. I like how they spell that.
Yes, Giza.
As part of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, it has been thoroughly explored. However, the structure still holds many undiscovered secrets. TUM researchers have now solved one more of the pyramid's mysteries. As part of the international research team, Pyramid... What?
Can I stop you there?
Yes.
How did they solve?
They solved a mystery.
They solved a mystery.
Yes, there are not solid blocks in that space.
Okay. I
You're
feel
right.
like they uncovered a new mystery, but they're saying they solved one.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Good point.
Good point.
This is probably the journalist.
Yeah, okay.
But you're right, it's Scan Pyramids. As part of the international research team Scan Pyramids, the Munich scientists have proven the existence of an empty chamber which was until now only posited based on measurement data. So that's what they mean.
Okay.
They solved that mystery.
Okay.
That their scans
showed a void,
and then they checked it and it's really there.
Okay.
So that's
great. Yes, because that actually says that the other voids that they detected might also be real things.
Is the Watcher watching?
The Watcher
That's a
is.
good question.
It's, yeah, Chad is asking if the Watcher's watching.
is
The
the
Watcher
Watcher?
is not what the Watcher's on space duty.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's got many
His
duties.
daughter performed well at soccer
space.
practice today.
All
Was
right.
he there?
She's got a good throw in.
Okay.
I know
All
we're
right,
not
that's
supposed to be
good.
talking soccer.
Nah, I know.
The international
Bringing
language of
frickin'
love
footy
just showed up in
into
the tangent cube.
Yeah, you guys in the Discord should put Laura in your channel because she's like all
By
doing
the way,
soccer.
Yeah,
Bob Buell-
I know there's a secret soccer channel. in
Bob
there.
Buell is here.
Right, just told me
I got
about
new
it.
mic
I
stands.
think he thinks
Damn
you
it.
don't know about it.
That's right.
Yeah, I want to be in the secret
new
soccer
mic
thing. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
That channel is dead. All right. Yeah, the hollow space is located above the original entrance to the pyramid, which is not accessible to the public. Assumption confirmed. In 2016, several measurements by Japanese and French researchers provided evidence of the existence of the chamber. The TUM research group has been on board since 2019, helping to explore the pyramid for hidden structures. They use various non-destructive testing methods, which make it possible to look into the stone blocks and the areas behind them. The pyramids are a World Heritage Site. This means we have to be especially careful when conducting our investigations so that we don't damage anything. We're working on the Cheops Pyramid with radar and ultrasound measuring devices that can be used on a non-destructive basis, and in part, even contact-free, says Professor Christian Gross, TUM Chair of Non-Destructive Testing. Yeah, they need to do some of that on the vases.
Yeah.
The chamber is larger than
So
expected.
I guess Egyptologists have stopped using explosives at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, they utilize the
It's no longer
the
Marriott
tiny
and
natural
Vise.
explosions
Yeah, right.
that are happening
That's right.
to measure stuff.
Bring back the good old days. Fill it with some gunpowder and see
Yeah.
if you can get in there.
Yeah.
The initial measuring devices provided a good first impression of the situation. The scientists then used endoscopy to confirm the assumption. The team found an opening between the stones of the chevron, a solid stone construction, through which they were able to run a tube into the chamber. They then used this tube as a guide for an endoscopic camera lens. The camera confirmed the existence of the hollow space. Discovering a hollow space in a pyramid is already something special, but the fact that this chamber is large enough to accommodate several people, well, that makes the discovery even more important, says Professor Gross.
Yeah, didn't they say it was like 9 meters?
The chamber is larger than researchers had assumed in the past. The original measured data pointed to the existence of a corridor at least 5 meters long. However, according to initial estimates, the length of the chamber considerably exceeds this length. There are no footprints or other evidence of human activity to be seen within the chamber. Thus, the research group assumes that this room has not been seen by anyone for approximately the last 4,500 years. Determining the former purpose of the newly discovered chamber and what is located behind the back wall of the room will require additional research. The confirmed findings highlight the need for further investigation of Egyptian pyramids, and in particular, the value of the new approach using a combination of various testing technologies and procedures.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. That's cool. And I was looking at these images. I don't know. This image looks like it's digitally enhanced big time. Like it almost looks fake.
Yeah.
The image that they had, like this one.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, did they really light the room up that
Hey.
bright with a tiny little
me see
endoscopic
that.
camera? Because that's a lot of light
Yeah.
in that room.
I'm sure it's
So it looks
zoom, enhance.
a
rotate.
bit digitally constructed to me, but
Yeah.
maybe it is a legit photograph. Anyway, that's my story for today.
Yeah, that's a good story. I mean, that one's been going around. I'm really the main thing I'm happy about is the confirmation of the technique.
Yeah, that's
To me that seems like the best part about it. You know, this chamber, obviously, if it is a chamber, is interesting. I mean, based on it's really strange because the blocks on the ceiling look finely dressed, but the ones on the sides are not. So it's just a strange, and the floor is also pretty rough, it looked like to me. So it may not be a chamber, or it may actually be more like an interior space, like between the walls kind of thing. Like the relieving chambers.
Well, there's also that space behind the Queen's Chamber. It's like this big, long space back in there. Does not look like it was supposed to be.
I think that was dug by people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do the walls look like?
It's blocks sticking out
Yeah,
of it. It's not nearly as neat as this.
Yeah.
But the relieving chambers, right, they are
Right.
definitely intended by the builders. Above the King's Chamber, there's like these stacked
And the relieving
beams.
chambers are the same. The ceiling is flat,
Flat, and
but
the
the
top
floor
is-
is very
yeah.
rough. Yeah. So it's interesting. People have already been debating what
It's
the purpose
a
of it
relieving
is.
chamber for the entrance.
Yeah. Right.
It's definitely what it is.
But it confirms the process using the muon, the non-invasive, long-term muon
Yeah.
detection scan. So that implies that the big void that they
Is legit.
It may be legit. Yeah,
Yeah.
because this was the small void that they detected over the entrance.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think is great about it.
Cool.
Okay. Shall we dive into some emails?
Let's do it. Oh, do I need to?
I don't know how you guys just jump right in here after a long day.
Dude, I got up at 4:30 this morning.
I feel like I'm just over here trying to get my bearings on, like sitting down for the first time.
I was gonna take a nap, and
You didn't get a nap?
No.
Oh.
But like every week.
No, the mic stands came in, and Bob Buell was like bitching me out last week. So I was like,
that's
I better,
true. Yeah.
You guys just
You better
bounce
fix
right
it,
in
I
there
better
otherwise
and
fix
then-
those
You're
mic
gonna-
stands.
you're
or
making
He's
us
gonna get seasick just with the mic stand bobbing around.
I wouldn't have been able to handle that. I'm barely able to take the stage lighting.
I gotta put paper around the lights for Laura. I just,
Yeah.
My
I
eyes
didn't
are
get
watering.
a
I can't
chance.
even read the comments over there. I'm just.
You want me to? Should I blow them up?
Oh, is
Anyway,
it-
I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Can I
Like,
blow these up?
thank God we're here. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you?
Oh no, the text isn't getting larger.
No, it's not getting at it. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Go ahead.
Well, let's I haven't done this in a while, so let's do a little explanation on what happens with the emails. All right. I did this a while back, sort of.
You know what? I think you did it last time I was in here for listener communication.
Really?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
We just do a little maintenance.
We do a
every-
little.
yeah.
It's a little. Yeah, a little email session
Workshop?
here.
What do we-
Workshop.
We say don't send books. That doesn't mean send us books and call them books.
And apologize. Right? That's what they do. I'm sorry. This is a book. No. So I'll just I just wanted to give you guys a description of what happens with the emails, right? So I read some emails on the show. That's what this show is about. We love getting the emails from you. I have to sort them, right? So you can email us, brothersoftheserpent@gmail.com. All those emails come in, and this is what happened. This is how they get screened, right? Russ wakes up in the morning and staggers into the kitchen and gets his coffee on the stove, and then he sits down before he's had any coffee and starts reading your emails. So you have to get your emails past Grumpy Morning Russ.
Wow.
Oh man, that's
Grumpy Morning Russ
I feel sorry.
does
for y'all.
not put up with your crap.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to hear any BS. Grumpy Morning Russ does not want to click on your links. He might. Okay, so this is the thing. You have to understand. You can get Grumpy Morning Russ to click on your links, but you got to be convincing. And it has happened a couple of times. But Grumpy Morning Russ definitely doesn't want to watch any YouTube videos. He wants to read emails.
Oh, Grumpy Morning Russ has clicked on links before, though, is what I'm.
He has.
Wow.
And then Podcast Russ has actually said, I'm going to click on this link and after reading this email, and I'll read a bit of this article on the show. Grumpy Morning Russ is far more likely to click on a link to an article and read a bit about that if you've already described the article in an interesting way in your email. Okay, so that's what happened. The email screener is Grumpy Morning Russ before he's had his coffee.
Okay.
So that's who you got to get these emails past. Grumpy Morning Russ does not want to reply to any emails. He will.
Definitely a tough gamut here, folks.
He
I'd
will
like to
on
point
occasion,
something
but
out,
only
though.
when they're asking questions like, for example, about the songs that are in the podcast, or how to find $50 Dynasty's music, or maybe some questions about the wine. But in general, he doesn't want to write any replies either. Grumpy Morning Russ is there to screen emails for reading on the show, which is where we reply to them. So that's how it works. That's the screening process.
But I'd like
that
to
where
point
we're
something
starting?
out.
Yes. What's that?
The fact that you are giving the Snake Force your attention first thing in the morning
I know.
is a big deal.
We don't even get that.
No one wants
Yeah.
to talk to me in the morning, but I sit down and hear
Give
from you
you
guys
guys-
in the
yeah.
morning when I'm not willing to talk to anyone else.
That's what happened to Bob Buell. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your alias right, but dude, I had just woke up and I'm like,
yeah, like
he's complaining about this mic stand.
Wake up
I'm
to
just like,
complaining. Yeah, Grumpy Morning Russ definitely does not want to hear your complaining.
That's great.
I can read these now. This is good.
Okay. So we have a whole bunch of emails here, and we need to catch up for sure because we are. The other update I was going to give is we are going to be going to Turkey soon. So I'm not sure what's going to be happening with the show. Hopefully we can pre-record maybe one or two so that they can drop while we're there, because Kyle and I are going to be gone for almost 3 weeks, right? Like 2.5.
Yeah.
Something
Basically
like that.
3 weeks.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
just come back and get my girls in here in the
There
studio.
you go.
We'll do like a
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
snake sis.
Snake sis. Snake sisters.
Babes of the Serpent.
Babes of the Serpent.
Oh, I like that.
That would be great.
I really like Babes of the Serpent.
Yeah, dude.
You know when you just hear something and right away you think, I like that. Well, that's what just happened with Babes of the Serpent.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I mean, that's what I say too. That was a 100%
All
like
right.
bang on name right there. Okay.
Bang
And
on.
I love
Yeah.
Bang On. Ben from Uncharted X. I love Bang On.
Yeah. Okay, this is from James, aka Loki, in the Discord. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say about real quick before I dive into this, the one of the great things about the emails is the way that they have turned into long-term conversations.
I love that too.
Right? So,
Me too.
there are people who have been writing in for years, and it's turned into this, like this amazing conversation through the email and then across the podcast and back and forth. And, some of them are well known, like Roddy the Mammal, Space Ramen Shaman. And then there are other people who write in who are more recent, who just like became instant legends, like Butt Flapperheimer von Schlond, and Old Man from Scene 23, right? So this is the other great thing. If you write in and you've got a character, or you're just yourself, but
But you're a character.
yes, but you're also a character, and it's amusing. It's like that's the best way to get past Grumpy Morning Russ. Okay, so
Or maybe a cat picture.
don't send me any. If they're pictures, I'm like, why are there photos? Grumpy Morning Russ does not want to read your PDFs either.
Okay.
Right?
He just
So
likes
I'm just
cats,
saying, like, don't send me cat pictures. Okay. This is called Brain Expansion from James, aka Loki. So when you are going through a 33% brain expansion, do you shed your skin or do you just get a longer head? I have often wondered about the not-so-straight passages in the Great Pyramid. It seemed as though the ones who created them had a general idea of where they were going, like they had a map or some kind of information. But when Kyle said they might have just been following one of those small shafts, this really makes much more sense. This is in reference to when I think we were talking with Ben.
Yeah, and so
He says, genius, pure genius, keep up the good work. Snakes!
thanks, buddy. As far as the well shaft is concerned, there's a problem with that because
Yeah.
half of the well shaft is cut through the bedrock, which means like if it was a small shaft, it would have had to have been drilled or cut by a machine or something, which, I mean, I guess I don't have a problem with that. But it couldn't have been like in the constructed part of the pyramid, you can definitely make a small shaft without a machine, like without a robot cutting it, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Because the well shaft is cut through the bedrock, that idea is kind of, unless it was, definitely wasn't a person that cut it if it was a small shaft. But yeah, it does look like somebody followed some pre-existing shaft and just widened it or something.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I think that initially was in response. We were talking about the bent pyramid.
The bent pyramid for sure, because it connects the top of that chamber into the upper half of the chambers and tunnels.
And
of
we
the
were
pyramid.
wondering about how did
Yeah,
they
it's just
perfectly
like,
dig
boom,
this
nailed
passageway?
it.
And Ben was like, well, maybe
I got
it
a
was
scan of it. Should we look at it?
Sure, we can look at the scan. Can you? Well, you can't.
Can I screen share?
No.
Oh,
You'd have to tell OBS
So we're
to grab
live
it.
on Discord and live
Let me pull it
on
up.
YouTube. Both right now?
Are you asking tech support questions? What?
I'm telling you, I feel like I just was in a whirlwind and I got plopped in here. Like
We're live on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
we should do a Randall thing and only do like 2 emails the entire show.
What does that mean?
What?
like
Do a Randall thing and only
Like
do-
the-
Like when Randall and I try to do Randall Responds, and I've got a whole list of
Oh,
questions.
you only get to 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read one, and then Randall talks for 45 minutes, and then I read one
Okay,
more.
Can we
I'm
do this
sorry,
on
I
the
keep
fly?
throwing
Like,
us
can you
off
tell OBS to look at this other window? Or
I
is
have,
that going to be a huge
I have no
problem?
idea. We can try this for other times, but I say for now we don't do it.
On with the show.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sad.
I just was like, I get to use my Blender file. Okay, I won't use it. All right,
Okay.
next email.
Next email.
This is from. Oh wait, did you respond to this? Let's see. He's got 2 here.
Yeah, they're 2 because it's the other one is a PS. Yeah.
Got it. All right, this is from Cameron.
Yeah.
He says, just a quick
Hapgood
thought.
contradiction. Title.
Yeah, the title is Hapgood Contradiction? Question mark.
Question mark.
Just a quick thought on the Path of the Pole book report. if this continental shift was supposed to happen at the end of the Ice Age, that would seem to contradict Hapgood's other book, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings.
I thought this was an interesting point.
I believe his thesis in that book was that old maps which show coastline of Antarctica and the Americas were supposed to be copied from older maps which may have gone back to an ocean-faring Ice Age civilization. Those old maps show the continents roughly where they are at present day, although the coastlines are somewhat different, as would be expected. They don't show the continents in different places altogether. Thanks again for all the fun, thought-provoking topics discussed. P.S. I own some property on Lake Superior, and it's true. It never gives up its dead.
Yeah. You remember that from the book?
Ooh. How do you know this, Cameron? How are you confirming this to me right now?
No. Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He is testing
It never gives up its dead.
Did it for science.
You drop a body in Lake Superior, it's gone.
It's gone. It's never come back up.
It's the water's so cold that it doesn't.
So I guess the point here is that if the lines on the map, like the lines of latitude,
yeah,
are the same to the continents, right? That's telling you what angle it is on the flat Earth.
yeah, that's right.
So
I thought it was an interesting point. The question is does Hapgood's Maps of the Sea Kings work contradict his Path of the Pole work? That's basically what he's asking.
I
right?
get that.
And so I guess
I'm thinking of something a little more technical.
Okay.
Like the continents don't have to have shifted relative to each other. The whole thing could have moved, and that would only just change the lines of latitude on the map. Right? North-south lines. Or not the north-south lines, but your north-south degrees.
Yeah. If it rolled.
And those are the ones that are accurate. Yeah, because the idea is that when the pole was in Hudson Bay,
yeah,
say like where we are right now would have been much further north. Right?
Yeah.
So if those maps show that all these land masses are at the same relative degrees of latitude that they are today, then yeah. Right? I just don't remember.
I think I see what you're getting at. Like that the
continents don't have to be
longitude wouldn't necessarily matter. Is that what you're trying to say? Because it is, there are longitude.
I'm just giving you an example.
An example, yeah.
Because longitude is arbitrary.
Yeah.
Longitude is based on wherever you put the prime meridian.
Right.
Right. Wherever you decide is 0, and then you can go around. So that could have changed.
Yeah. I see.
But latitude, the 0 of latitude is at the actual rotational pole.
Right.
Okay.
So and latitude is the one that they could have accurately mapped very long ago before they had a timepiece.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the points that Hapgood was making was that the longitudes were very exact as well.
I know.
So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But so basically, I think that
he's got a point.
It is a good point.
It would just.
I guess what I'm asking you've gone through the book more recently than I have. Do you remember if Hapgood was trying to put any dates on this?
I think the only speculation was that if Antarctica was ice free, it must have been
a very
long time ago.
Okay,
right now that's an assumption.
Yeah.
But he's right in the sense that if the latitudes line up with these ancient maps, but the whole globe was actually shifted at the time, then it must have been in its present position when the map was made.
That's right.
But I guess if it had just finished shifting,
yeah,
the coastline could have been ice-free.
Right.
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking is like if there is a problem there, then it seems like the solution is that the maps are old, but they're not hundreds of thousands of years old. You know, they're more like right at the end of the last ice age old, like basically at the end of the last shift, which Hapgood placed roughly at the end of the last ice age. But yeah, it's a great point is what I'm saying.
I see y'all's points.
I see your point and I raise you 2 points.
Okay.
Hey, I know this guy.
You know this guy?
I do know this guy.
Okay. This is from Christopher.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
He's,
so you did meet this person?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a winemaker.
Yeah. Okay. Says, hi, Russ and Kyle. I've been a fan of the podcast since the folks at the tasting room at Turtle Creek mentioned it to me last January. I love the subject matters you cover, and particularly like the music and agricultural updates, which we didn't do ag update this show. We should do that. And he says, and yes, I hung in through each Hapgood episode. Fascinating stuff. Oh, he's an 11er.
He's an 11er.
All right. I'm a winemaker in the Finger Lakes region and attended the Hill Country Wine Symposium last year. Fell in love with the region and will be moving soon to launch a Texas wine project and wine services business. I know Kyle attended the symposium last year based on the podcast, so I hope to run into you next week if you'll be around. So this was a while back now, right?
Oh, this was before the symposium.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I
You
asked
sent this to me.
I sent it to you.
Okay.
Yes, because I was like, we probably won't get to this for a while on the show, so I better send this to Kyle now. Yeah.
Yes, we did meet up, and it was cool how it happened.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell the story.
He says, keep up the great work. Both the wines and the podcast are awesome. Best regards, Christopher. Thank you. From Missick Cellars. That's Missick.
And he makes some
Cellars.
sick wine, dude.
Excellent,
It's
yeah.
really good stuff. He makes sparkling wine, too. It's excellent.
You guys can look it up, missickcellars.com.
So,
Thank you, buddy.
yeah, thanks, bro.
Thank you.
It was cool. Like the very first class that I went to, or it was a tasting, right? It was the very first, like they have all these breakout sessions where you go and you can learn stuff or...
One second. Is anybody keeping track of the...
Hell no, but there's a bunch. People...
This last one, Sage Wall,
Well, let's-
and I got an email
Okay.
about it. So.
Finish
Let's
your
do it
thought.
after this segment.
Okay.
We're almost done, and we're going to get some pterodactyls.
This segment.
Can you scroll back?
I
through
sit
that?
down. I come in the very first day in the morning, and I sit down at the first session, which is a wine tasting, and there's no one at the table.
Oh, yeah.
And some people come, and they're like sitting down, and then they're like, oh, there's whose stuff is this over on this chair on the other side? I'm like, I don't know. I never even saw anybody there. And then this guy comes and sits down, and he's like, yeah, I left my stuff here to save my spot. And then he starts mentioning the Finger Lakes, and I was like, dude, are you? I was like, I'm Snake Bros. And we're like, oh.
that's great.
So we just like got up, gave each other a hug, dude, and then he gave me some fossils and stuff.
All
I was
right.
like,
I got to
dude.
meet him too because I came up.
Yeah,
That's right,
Laura
you
was
were
there.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had lunch together, dude. Oh man, I can't wait till you
He's awesome.
till you move out here, bro. Hit
Oh,
me
yeah.
up
It's gonna
anytime.
be awesome.
Yeah, hit us up.
All right, let's see what we got here. People have been
Well, let's
commenting. I can't keep track of the troll room when I'm reading emails, so let's see what we got. Sorry, guys.
I can do a better job.
Okay, we
than
saw that
I've
one.
been Doing.
Saw that one. Yeah. Jersey Dolphins, $3. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. No
buddy.
comment. Patty, hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Says, I suspect they will find Cheops' mummy in the chamber above the Grand Gallery when they eventually get there to the big void.
Okay.
Find, quote unquote.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of find.
Quick fixes.
Quick fixes. 20 maple leaves. Around for the Tangent Cube from Schlepidus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Solid Luigi, $10. Here's a Hamilton.
Oh man.
Oh,
he's
man.
busting out Hamiltons.
Dropping Hamiltons like it's nothing. For the extra effort. Thanks for the extra effort you put in to give us a live show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Rex,
How's
$10,
it going, bro?
Tall triple shot latte for Grumpy Morning Russ. Ooh.
Look at the one right above that.
Yeah, give us the Laura and Marty
The
show.
Laura
out
and
of
Marty.
this. That's
Laura
a great
and
idea.
Marty show.
Laura's gonna be like, it was UFOs, and Marty's like, I know.
We'll get to that.
It will be a really interesting show. I'm for it. This
Adrian Johnson, $50, says, hey guys, what are your thoughts on the Sage Wall in Montana? Do you believe it could be man-made? Use rock. Okay, so
I don't know.
it's tough. We haven't been there. I'd love to go.
Yeah, we need to
Our
look
buddy History Shift, Brandon, has been there multiple times. We had him on the show. We did a video episode with him about it. He showed a bunch of pictures. He's done a lot of hiking in that area because he's right there near where all these megaliths are. And the most convincing one in terms of like possibly being man-made artifact is that wall. Some of the other ones are beautiful, but they could be natural. Some of them may not be. I would say that if that wall is modified or in any way man-made at all, then it makes it much more likely that some of the other very strange stuff around there might also be manipulated.
I
But
think-
yeah, it's beautiful.
I
I
think
saw
at
it.
most it's going to be modified.
yeah.
Well, I saw it today for the first time when I was emailed, which I don't know if it's the same person there, but when I looked at it in the pictures just briefly, I thought, man,
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But there is a portion of it where it like, it looks like it goes into just like natural bedrock. So it, and that's what I'm saying. Like you could look at a part of it and say, yeah, this is totally natural. But then the other part looks so constructed that it could have been a modified feature, maybe. I don't know. But we got to go there for sure.
Yeah. We are
really-
doing trips in Montana, and along with the Scablands trip, we're doing Montana trips now. Maybe we can somehow sneak out there.
squeeze it in. We need to look on a map to see how
Yeah.
close it
Yeah.
is.
Well, it's near where Brandon is in Helena, I think,
Okay.
or Helena, however you
Yeah,
say
I think
it.
you're right. I think that is where it is.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see if
There it is. Got some pterodactyls.
Oh,
Hold on a second.
I have not known what you guys were talking about this whole time. That's funny.
Is this our break?
I think that music was really loud. Sorry about that.
It looks pretty loud.
All right, that's it. There's your pterodactyls, bro.
That was funny. I had no idea what was going on. I'm just along for the ride today.
That's the impromptu break.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move forward here.
Yeah, I think that was like super loud.
Was it
Wow.
super loud?
Yeah.
Oh well.
I was trying to go look at the meter, but I couldn't get there.
You've really screwed everything
Did
up
you
now.
Yeah, I know.
blow some
Chat
people's
window's
ears
gone.
How do I
Okay.
open the chat?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so I'm gonna keep going here. Dinosaur ghosts.
Ooh.
This is from Holly. This is cool because I think we talked about this a while back. Okay. Dear Snaky Bros, my name is Holly, and I've been listening to y'all since about episode 195, and I've been a fan ever since, and came via the usual route. I've been slowly working my way through your older episodes while I do chores. It's been great, and I love to compare what you think now versus what you thought then. These eyes. I thought about emailing you many times while listening with my brilliant, definitely not, observations, but my goldfish brain forgets the point before I get a chance to sit down and make an email. However, while listening to episode 83, Surfing Spacetime, I had a funny idea and had to stop immediately to send this to you. You were talking about the Voyager probes moving faster the further away they got from our solar system. And you also mentioned time loops and those potentially being the repeat hauntings of specific places at specific times being a replay of the energy of that event. And I realized why we don't have dinosaur ghosts. It's because Earth and our whole solar system was literally in a different part of the galaxy. So those poor dinosaur ghosts are fighting their repeat battles over and over in space, never to be witnessed again.
Yes.
Poor guys.
TLDR, dino ghosts are fighting in the location of the universe they were at millions of years ago, and we've moved away from them. Anyway, just something to tickle your funny fossils. All the best from Holly.
That's great.
That's
I love
great.
That. That's great.
I've often thought, no, I haven't often thought this. Once I thought this.
He's often thought it once.
And only once.
Every morning he thinks about it.
But the idea of time travel could be like, maybe it's no different than actually traveling in space. Like if you were able to go back exactly to a previous position or take a particle or something to an exact previous position, would it be like the same that it was at that time? Because nothing is ever in the same position ever.
Right.
I'm gonna go with no.
Again.
Answer ding ding.
Because
No.
we don't. The answer is no. See, it was not even
This
worth
is why
thinking
we
about
have
it.
Laura in here.
It was not even worth thinking about it a second time.
No, I see what you're getting at though. There is is there really a that much of a correlation between time and space, right?
Yeah.
That's basically the idea. Is it only possible to get a particle back to the exact position it was at some point in the past by rolling back time. Like, in other words, you can't duplicate it exactly.
Yeah, so to do it is to also travel
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
What was there a? What were we listening to? Or maybe it was some book or something like that where the guy was just like, time travel is impossible. Like, even if you could go back in time, you'd just be in empty space. Or maybe it was an email.
Yeah.
Because everything would have moved.
Yeah, he was saying it has to be also a spaceship.
Yeah,
it can't.
It's got to be a spaceship.
Yeah,
it's kind of the other side of the same point.
Right.
And then there was a movie kind of touching on some of this stuff. That
best theory ever. See, babe, they like my theory.
What's the name of that movie, babe, where they all go in reverse, but then they're like, some people are going forward and some people are going.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called.
I watched it on a plane.
I did.
Yeah,
watched it on a plane.
Somebody did a movie about it. That's all I've got to add.
It was the last part of a 10-hour flight, so I don't really remember.
I just wanted somebody else, like Laura, sitting there watching the movie with me, so I could be like, "This is bullshit."
Because that happens a lot.
Okay. Next one is.
Yeah, so this one's picture heavy, but just.
All right, you do it.
Okay.
You already.
I kind of know what's going on. Yeah. Lots of photos. It's cool, though. See, sometimes you can squeeze these past Grumpy Morning Russ. Okay, it's called Waco Mammoth Bone Beds from Scott. Guys, this is not the email I was planning on sending, but I couldn't wait to send you guys these pictures. I was in Waco yesterday and visited the dig site. You guys have been a big part of my day for months now, so I'm trying to give back with these pics. The camels are below the mammoths. Mammoth bones were dated at 6,500 years ago, and the camel bones were 1,500 years further back in time. So run with that. Snakes. So yeah, there's a bunch of amazing photos of this dig, of this bone bed.
Man.
Yeah. So I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, it does look very interesting. So anyone who's near the Waco area, you can go check out these. Apparently, you can go check out these mammoth bone beds. Okay, you should read this one from Georgia.
Okay. From Georgia. This is called Finally.
Yeah.
Dear Russ and Kyle. Please don't dox my full name. Why would we ever do that, Georgia Hansen? Crazy. Finally, I have slithered my snaky butt into action to write in. At long last, you might know me as Mystic Lady 108 from the Discord.
Yes.
Hey, girl.
Your resident Aussie snake from the future, with one slithery foot in the woo and one firmly in the science camp. Do snakes even have feet?
No.
I have been listening to the show for probably a few years now via Cosmo. Father Snake recommended I get onto Randall. Soon enough, I was curious about who you two goofballs were. I tuned into your podcast and I was more than hooked. I jumped into the Discord and found my people. Brain expansion definitely hitting a minimum of 33%. The discussion and ideas brought up in the Discord are not only fun to read, but scientifically fascinating. I want to thank you guys for a few things. 1, personally, you guys helped me through so much. You switched my brain back on to being curious. Why does day-to-day life dull your curiosity so much? I was deep in a job I didn't love anymore, relationships collapsing, and trying to rebuild my life. I needed something to ground myself, and I found you two. Thank God. Listening to your banter and terrible jokes made me laugh out loud on many car trips.
Wait. Kyle's terrible jokes. Mine are great.
I give him a few.
Are they terrible or are they just dad jokes?
They're terrible. All of our jokes are terrible.
Hey, you have to just try, right? You got to try.
Yeah, you got to throw them out there.
You got to use all the
Sometimes
terrible
you
jokes.
bomb, yeah.
Yeah. We're supporting you still.
It's great because there's no one here to laugh except Russ.
You can't count on that.
I laugh even when they're not funny. He's my little bro. I got to support him.
Oh my gosh, that was so sweet.
Warm and fuzzies. Okay.
Kyle is blushing.
I'm actually pissed. Now I don't know if any of my jokes are funny. So the terrible jokes made me laugh out loud on many car trips to work and got me in a place where I could keep putting on my smiling face and carry on providing frontline healthcare throughout some pretty crazy times.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh
See,
my
that's awesome.
gosh.
See, the jokes are
Yeah.
terrible. It still makes people laugh. They make me laugh when
Frontline.
they're awful. And yeah, it's helped her out.
Frontline healthcare, my God.
Frontline healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless you.
So we're helping save people's lives, basically, is what that boils
That's
down
what
to.
your terrible jokes, bro, are
Yeah,
saving
there
lives.
you go.
If I was in the healthcare, it would be back of the line healthcare, not frontline.
Yeah.
2.
Respect.
Yes, much respect. Kyle, I know I sent a Telegram message through about this to Russ, but I want to tell you your music is absolutely wonderful. Procession is a work of art to be incredibly proud of. Thank you. I get goosebumps every time I listen, in particular, Where the Stories Lie. It hit me hard when I lost a member of our family. Even now, I will choke up listening to it. All of your voices hit me right in the feels. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I
loved
loved
that
that
one
message
too.
that you sent, and yeah, I cried. 3, congratulations on the community you have created around your podcast. Every time I listen to your communications episodes, I am struck by the amount of people that have reached out and told you that you have got them through tough times. In the Discord as admins, we have all helped people going through some difficult times in life, from living in a car through blizzards to existential crises triggered by experiencing strange and unexplainable events, to just about anything that life throws at people. The community has become an anchor. You have let us all know that we are not alone. The discovery of rabbit holes beyond our wildest dreams has led many of us to realize that all rabbit holes are connected somehow. And it's all
yes.
connected. And what's even better
Yes.
is that we all know there are other snakes out there in the world,
That's
all
it.
thinking and discovering the same sorts of things, asking questions and holding up our certificates of ignorance with pride. The community is supportive and compassionate. What more could any snake ask? Maybe for snake bites?
Yeah.
I have made lifelong friends around the world that I can talk to about the things that matter. Wow, that's awesome. 4, thank you especially to Laura, who I
Yes.
know somehow holds you all together
Thank you.
and runs her family quietly in the background.
She
Well,
does.
it's not.
It's pretty
it's
loud.
not quiet.
Not
It's
quiet.
definitely loud. But she does hold us all together.
But
thank
quietly
Loudly
in
runs
the-
the
Thank
family
you.
in the
Quiet-
background.
I
Yeah.
always am striving to be quieter.
Well, it's
calmer.
quiet in the sense that you're not like,
Yeah.
But
you're
thank
not
you for that.
publicizing your whole
Yeah.
Yeah,
life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Laura. The time and effort you must put in is extraordinary. Thank you, she says. To you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
She does, dude. Laura is does a lot of work in the background with the tours, with the trips, with helping Kyle and I keep our schedules together. I mean,
Keeping up with
yeah.
these two assholes.
I mean, dude, she
couldn't
does. It's so great. You know, it's so amazing.
Yes.
Well, thanks, guys. Dang, wow.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I really appreciate
Little
it.
Love fest for
We
me
do.
here. Thank you.
Are the taxes done?
Working on it.
And hey, Jonathan, thank you, dude, so much.
Holy
$360.
yeah.
Pterodactyl Anthem.
John WB, bro.
Yeah,
you.
thank you, buddy.
Yeah,
Says, hope to meet
he
up with you
also
fellas
sent us
someday.
a
Yeah.
very wonderful gift recently as well. Thank you so much for that too.
And Jeff the curator,
El Jefe.
lover of books and boobs, says, congrats on your first YT Live. Love y'all. All your pseudoscience is more science than I've experienced in years. Keep it up. Thank you.
Hey, I came up with a joke. What she was saying about the rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
What can go through rabbit holes easier than rabbits? Snakes.
Okay.
There
It
we
passes
go.
Uh,
muster.
yes.
I mean, 'cause they can just
I'll
slither-
give you
slither-
a one finger gun for that one.
Guys.
One finger
All right,
and a
just
snap.
gonna wrap this up from Georgia.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, we keep interrupting.
No, it's
Georgia.
just it's the conclusion. She says, I want to say thanks for everything that you do, the hours and hours you must spend putting the show together, and all the other stuff that goes along with planning and production. Thank you. And finally, thanks again for the fantastic little pyramid from Giza that you sent out. It is in pride of place in my windowsill, right next to my crystal spaceship fragments.
awesome.
Looking
Yay.
forward to seeing you all in
Crystal
Egypt
spaceship.
one day. Snakes! Georgia.
Yay.
Thank you, Georgia.
Packed those boxes myself. Yeah, thank you so much. That was really sweet.
Hey, Terry Jackson. Hey, bro. We got some emails from you for this episode, too. He says he still doesn't think the recat structure is really Atlantis. I agree. I concur. That's great.
Could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been.
It could have been.
I mean, I don't think it is, though.
But yeah, thank you so much, Georgia. Really appreciate it. That was a great email. It was a book, work on that. But it was awesome.
But I feel very loved.
We had
now,
to,
so
yeah.
thank you.
When Grumpy Morning Russ opened it, he was like, "Oh my God, look at all this
And then he
text."
saw a compliment from me, and he was
And
like,
then I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
have to bring it
"Well, this is
forward.
actually really good.
I'm gonna have to let
I
Laura
guess
know."
I'll have to read this on the show."
Nope. You didn't have to read it on the show.
I didn't have to.
Well, I appreciate it.
But yes, the community is a big part of it. I've said this many times, but one of the things that made Kyle and I start the podcast in the first place was we wanted to, join the conversation that we thought was beginning to happen between people and other podcasters. And Kyle and I were just like, God, look at these people talking to each other, discussing this, getting scientists on, getting guests on, getting authors on, and having these discussions, and then taking all that information and then having roundtables. Soraya was doing this a lot, having a big roundtable with a bunch of people all discussing a particular topic, and it was just fantastic. And we wanted to be part of that because Kyle and I were having these conversations with each other. So that was part of part of it. But being able to bring everyone who listens in on the conversation through the emails and into the discussion is just fantastic. So thank you guys so
Agreed.
much. And then, of course, the Discord is a big part of it as well.
What's that?
The Discord is a part of the whole discussion.
What's the Discord?
It's a thing I've heard of.
Never been there.
Yeah, it's mythical.
I agree. The communications, the emails and stuff. I mean, I know I've said this many times, but it that's what gave me the idea of who the audience is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, y'all are all my brothers and sisters.
Right. These are the ones that
So
are
great.
cool enough to get past Grumpy Morning Russ.
Yeah, the Discord
That's
is
just
a
like
really
a
special place.
that's like a roulette wheel. I mean, that's not even. You don't even have to be cool.
True. Maybe so. I feel like Grumpy Morning Russ does a pretty good job of
I
getting
think,
things out.
I think you do. Cheers.
Hey, wait, do I get one?
I got one.
Okay.
When
Yeah,
I
I'll
talk
take
to
one.
Russ in the morning, I just start talking faster and faster and faster and get higher and
And
higher.
then she runs.
Because then I just get nervous. I'm like, never mind. No, you're pretty
She
good.
starts talking, I turn and look at her,
Yeah.
and she gets faster and faster, and then she just stops and leaves. She's like, I'll come back when you're done with the coffee.
I'll volunteer to leave.
To go
Can
get
you get
beers.
Russ a koozie?
Is that all we
I
need?
thought I had 2 koozies.
Oh, I don't
here,
need a
man.
koozie.
Yeah,
That's
you
all
do.
right.
I'm just saying, you know me. I'd like a chance to dart out here.
Okay, this is from, let me make sure this is right. Eric. Thank you.
Tap the Rockies, old
Tap the Rockies. Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Light beer.
Light beer.
Oh, thank you for the babysitting funds.
Hey, Jonathan again. Thank you, buddy.
My God,
$100
bro.
babysitting funds for Laura. Thank you so much.
Wow.
I really appreciate that.
Does that mean you have to pay the stash? Like $100?
I was just wondering, am I going to have to give that to mom and dad right now? Is that what that
am I
means?
going to have to give it to you for you to pay
Yeah.
him?
Okay, next time, don't put a title on there like that. Tell
No,
us
thank
what we
you,
have to-
Jonathan. It's totally cool, man. Thank you so much.
We'll work it out.
Yeah. Okay, Eric, this is titled 270. So I think it's in reference. Yeah, episode 270. It says, "Hey, Snake Bros. I'm still working my way through the back catalog of your excellent podcast, but recently listened to episode 270, which is episode 720 backwards. You mentioned that you were looking for recommendations on books on mythology. So I would highly recommend all 3 of the following books. Eric Newman's book is particularly good. Also, they all have audiobook versions.
Yeah.
I think he's in response to your question. So The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell. We could definitely get that one. The Origins and History of Consciousness by Eric Neumann. And Maps of Meaning by Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
All of these books deal with mythology from a psychological archetypes perspective. It's interesting to me that when you guys or someone like Graham Hancock discusses a mythological story, that these archetypal patterns are not really brought up. There seems to be a divide between the psychological reading of these stories and reading of them as a record of a catastrophic past. Yeah, I think they're both. I think
I
they
do too. I
incorporate
think that's
both.
part of the genius.
That's part of the genius, yeah. So what do you think about this? Are these books that you are familiar with? And if so, do you find these types of interpretations compelling as well? I do.
I've listened to Jordan Peterson on podcasts talking about the mythology and the way he analyzes it and compares it to human nature, and I think it's genius. I love it. In fact, but it doesn't diminish the other interpretation to me that is more historical. I think that's what the beauty of symbolism is all about, is that you can, like in the stories, you can have multiple meanings.
Yes.
They're all true.
I love that too. And I love Jordan Peterson, and I have read one of his books and listened to some of his stuff.
Yeah. It's
He's got some good stuff to say.
I think Randall...
that's the thing to strive to do as a writer, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like
that's
that's
right.
that's the goal.
You're trying
to be able to achieve that type of combination of things, telling a real physical, like something true, maybe about science or about astronomy or about some kind of technology or something like that, but also something true about human nature. It's just I love that.
Yeah, and I think we've said this before too. Maybe it's been a while, but some story, like maybe you've seen a movie or you've read a book where it's fiction, but it's still so true, right? You're like, yeah, that's exactly what happens, right? So it fits. There are things that we all recognize as humans that fit certain patterns, and some of these patterns have been around since before recorded history. They're part of oral traditions. They go back into the depths of prehistory, so that we don't know how old they are. But a lot of these mythological stories seem to incorporate these things that are in a sense truer than true. Like they basically are saying a true thing without necessarily telling you a factual tale. Right. But any good author can take things like that and incorporate them into things that are true. Like like another easy example to give is like if you're reading a mystery book and it's set in New York City, you may be reading, and you've been to New York City, you're reading the book and you recognize places, roads, like all of this is true. Right. And maybe it's even set in a time where there's a bunch of historical events taking place, which you also recognize because they're real historical events. But the characters and the things that the characters are particularly dealing with in detail are not true things. They're fictionalized. And yet, they're things we all recognize nevertheless, right?
Yeah.
So
Shakespeare was a master of this.
Yeah, so it
You
whoever
said that
both
well.
things.
I love that.
Oh, thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Very good.
It could have been better. But.
What's
up, Marty?
Kyle could have done it better.
Marty's out there. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Marty.
Also, Jonathan says he's subtracting $1 since we were drinking Coors.
Did you
Bro,
see
come on, man. Like, we work.
He's Coors minus $1.
Did you see Patrick Hicks's?
I work in a vineyard.
Oh, he's got another one there.
I was digging holes. I've been up since 4:30. Light beer. I can drink more.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
drinking
mind.
a Shiner.
I like the
Lars drinking
the
the-
ice cold light beer is good.
So
man.
obviously
Yeah, it's
he
like,
wasn't talking trash to me at all.
Yeah, no one's
He
talking
thinks that I'm
trash
really
to you.
cool.
No, you're cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
I drink Shiner.
Everyone gives me shit about my light beers.
It's
But,
all right.
Yeah,
okay.
man, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so let's finish this email. We're still in the middle of it. So Eric says, personally, I do not think these different readings of a story are mutually exclusive. Mythological stories have many different levels of meaning that are layered into the narrative. There is the surface level story of some guy who pisses off a god, dang it, Johnson. The religion that uses the story instructively, the record of catastrophe, and the psychological underpinnings that influence how the story is constructed. Sorry if this ran on a bit long, but I would love to get your thoughts on this. I also appreciate all the book recommendations you guys give. I have an ever-expanding list of books referenced on your show that I now have to read. There are a few podcasts that blow my mind on such a regular basis. Thanks again. Best regards, Eric. P.S. Snakes!
Is that Eric in the Discord?
I don't know.
Okay.
What?
Marty's
happening?
gravestone will say, "We will get to that shortly."
Yes. To those of you listening to this years later or whatever, we are being trolled by the live chat, which
It's
is great.
great.
Yeah. We should definitely make sure that's on Marty's. That's his
Yeah,
epitaph.
can I? I'm
Yeah,
like, if
we're
they-
Marty.
If it's not, I'm just going to show up in the middle of the night with a,
With a Sharpie.
a schist disc on a drill. Fucking cut it in there, dude.
Glad you're here, Marty.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. You want me to take the next one, or
Oh.
you want to read it?
I wasn't even prepared. Oh, you know what? It's break time.
No,
I thought we didn't get breaks.
we don't. But Kyle's just gonna jam some music anyway.
See,
You
where are we
want?
going?
You need a break?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing
Oh, we're
okay.
doing this one right here. Oh boy.
That's why I never actually left to get you a koozie, because I'm doing okay so far.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Where the stories lie.
That's right.
These have been great emails.
Oh yeah.
I'm having fun.
What? No words? What's the deal?
Yeah, there's no. It's an instrumental,
Oh my god.
but there's some weird noise happening.
I hear that too.
What is that noise?
Hey, very professional.
Way more professional than the first one.
The first time.
I should have gone to the solo though. That's what I really needed to do. Now I know what to do.
Yeah. Far too many stories high.
Okay,
Making me want to sing along to no words.
dude. All the bumper music is like it's instrumental.
You
version.
could have thrown in the. Come on. All right.
Nope.
No.
Don't forget the ag update.
Yeah. So what's happening?
Look at these two producers over
Yeah, I
here.
know. Look at this. She's doing good. See, she does. She keeps it all together, guys.
Man, really? Talk about work? I don't want to talk about work right now. Let's get to the next email.
That's fine.
I've been labeling bottles, stacking them up.
Well, he's talking about it, babe. So I
Yeah,
guess
it's
we can-
fine. It's okay. Kyle doesn't want to talk
I mean,
about
I
work.
don't want to push it on Kyle.
Oh,
if he,
well.
I said I was digging a hole today.
Yeah, he was digging a
I
hole.
was meaning the stock show and rodeo gold.
Oh
medal.
yeah, all right. So we won a gold medal for the white wine. It was really boring. I got to. Damn it, you guys! I got to fly in a private jet
Oh wow.
to Houston,
Is that what you were going
So
for?
lame.
Oh, okay.
and I served a bunch of people this wine, and they loved it.
Your parents and your
No, it was
wife
awesome.
and other people that know
So-
you're proud of you.
This was a cool thing. Okay, so our grandfather was a Hall of Fame championship bull rider
Yeah.
and rodeo cowboy,
The Last Gunslinger.
and he was awesome. He passed away years ago, but great friend, amazing grandfather. Just taught us all kinds of stuff. He's an awesome dude, and this famous bull rider, Ernest Beakley was his name.
Cool as shit.
And so he won all these, gold belt buckles and stuff at these rodeos, and he rode in Madison Square Gardens. He rode
He was legit.
all over the world.
Yeah.
But obviously, he also won at the Houston Stock Show and Rodeo.
Yeah.
So like this is where we basically we won a gold medal for our white wine there, and I was like, I won a gold medal at a rodeo, dude. Like granddaddy.
So special.
So I got his hat and his boots and his belt buckle.
Oh, that was what
and
that
his
was.
ring and everything, and I was just like all freaking cowboyed up, dude. And I went out there and served wine. It was like, howdy y'all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a good time.
We'll have to put a picture in after.
And this hat that I got from him is like,
Yeah.
it's this old school. I don't know where he got it, but it's
15
real
gallons.
tall. It's great.
So all of you out there who have never tried Kyle's wine, you can know that it's gold medal worthy. It really
Wow.
is good.
The white is good.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
It's all gone too.
It's gone.
Yeah, we'll make more.
Yeah.
All right, next
Okay.
email.
Are you
God, I'm
tackling
glad
this
that
one?
ag
Which one am I-
update's
which
over.
one is it?
Terry. Terry's in the chats.
The pressure's on. I better not butcher this.
Don't screw it up.
Hello, my
Fire from the sky. Got to read those titles.
fire from the sky. Sorry, is the subject of this email from Terry. I am a professional. He says, "Hello, my southern snake bros. I send greetings and salutations from the snowy and icy Great White North.
Ah.
I hope this note finds you both well and healthy high up there on the Edwards Plateau. Here in Canada, we're in the gripe of old man winter." I guess he meant grip. Although I might take a few minutes to let you know that I'm really enjoying your current book report series on Charles Hapgood's book. I have previously read it, but listening to your take on it, as well as the additional related facts you bring up, is quite enjoyable and thought-provoking. I love the way you take different books and theories from different disciplines and areas and relate them together to form a possible past history. I myself have done that for years, and it's nice to have others' perspectives and to know I'm not the only one that thinks we're missing something important from
Yeah.
our distant past. Totally agree, dude. Thank you. While listening to your book report on the path of the poles and keeping in mind your talks with George Howard concerning the comet impact hypothesis, not to mention Randall's awe-inspiring presentations, I keep thinking how much the proposed scenarios in the book I mentioned, Ragnarok, The Age of Fire and Gravel by Ignatius Donnelly, fit right into this line of thinking. I highly recommend you check it out. Some of the data in the book might be dated, but the underlying is sound, and in my humble opinion, I think it might make for a potential future book report. I have taken the liberty of including a link to the Kindle edition if Russ is inclined to read it. Sorry, Kyle, I couldn't find an audiobook version.
I will look for one.
I forgive you, bro, for now. Ragnarok, The Age, as I said, then he gives a link. He says, at any rate, I'll keep this correspondence short and hope to see you in the Discord. I'm in there as TJ. As always, I'm a humble, loyal listener and supporter, and now I think I should get back to work.
Yeah.
Snakes!
Thank
Terry.
you.
Thank you, Terry.
I will check it out. Thank you, man. Maybe we can find it.
I mean, Randall has often mentioned Ignatius Donnelly.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
I don't think I've ever read anything by him.
We got some.
Listened to anything by him.
Hey, Patrick.
Patrick Akes! What's going on, old boy?
Yeah, Vince gave us $10. Says
Patron saint.
Myths always touched me as ways you could explain a catastrophe to your children after the floodwaters subside, leading to stories full of history. And Kyle screwed up the chat window. Lessons and facts and superheroes. Yes. I kind of think that's what we were saying. Yes, they're mythologized, but they're real stories. For sure. Thank you, buddy. Peter Shell. Hey, buddy.
Bro.
108, $108. Happy full moon. Also, is
Thank you,
Procession
buddy.
coming out on vinyl?
I know Peter, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, Procession is coming out on vinyl.
What did you do to this chat window? Look at
I
this. What is
grew.
going
I
on?
enlarged it.
Oh, man.
And to Peter, it is a full moon here. It's like an orange blood moon or what is it?
I saw that, yeah, coming
It's
down.
beautiful. The moon was so beautiful.
Procession will be on vinyl. Wait,
Yes,
where is it?
well, they're not in. I took them out, but I did get the vinyl proofs. We listened to the whole thing. It sounded awesome. And now we're just finishing up the artwork to submit. We're gonna get 300. It's very expensive. So we're starting with 300, but we're ordering extra jackets in case we order another 300, because 300 is the minimum.
Yeah, okay.
You can order. So we ordered 600 jackets and 300 records. So if we sell out, we'll probably just order another 300, and we'll already have the jackets, so we'll save some cash there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they will be available online. We will be there will be a store. Like the company that we're working with is Hand Drawn Records, and they'll basically set up a store at their place, and we're going to let them keep pretty much all the records. We're going to take some, have them ship us some, but people will just be able to get online and go to that store. It'll be linked on our website and whatever.
Yeah, so keep an eye on $50dynasty.com.
I'll let you guys know when it's
and also
it's done.
People were asking about the wine. It can get shipped now, at least in the United States. So if you want to order some, you can go to Turtle Creek Olives and Vines.com.
Inventory is low.
Inventory is low
on our wine.
The black label stuff, like when you look at the bottle, if it has a dark label on it, that's the stuff we made in-house. The white label stuff is still, it's really good wine, but it's usually not stuff we made in-house.
Well, yeah, it's a combination of like some of our wine, but we blended it with other people's wine, or we bought the fruit from somebody and it wasn't the fruit we grew.
Right.
So
Get it while the getting's good.
yeah,
people.
it's almost up. But we're about to release another red blend.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm working on labeling them. Sand Bridges, $2. Thank you, man. No comment from him.
Thank you.
thanks, Betty.
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le PewPew.
Pepe Le PewPew.
Lasers.
That's right.
Pepe Le lasers.
French lasers. $50 says Snake Masons give Randall heck. We do. Every day. Thank you, guys.
You can't let him get away with it.
You can't let him get away with stuff, yeah. There was another question in here. It wasn't a super chat, but somebody asked, right here, Catastrophic Newing, are you guys related to the Vermont Allens?
Well, it depends on which Vermont Allens.
We are related to
There
some
are
Vermont
some
Allens.
Vermont Allens that we are related to. I don't know which
Yes.
ones you're talking about, though. Yeah.
Those are our kin.
Hey, Lala C, $20. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lala C. I'm kind of in a way Lala C.
Yeah.
Because my maiden name starts with a C.
Mm.
Is that?
Hey, girl.
Well, but is that our other Laura?
No, this is somebody totally
No,
different.
that's
okay.
somebody else.
I've seen her before in emails and
All right.
Discord.
We're collecting Laura's, remember?
We are
Yeah,
collecting.
we're the Laura magnet collector hub.
Okay, so what's next here? This is from, let me see.
Rex, yeah, dude.
Colin. It's called I Am Current. Dear Snake Bros, my name is Colin. I am an occasional user of the Discord where I go by the alias Drinkin'.
Drinking.
I'll try to keep this essay from becoming a book, but feel free to read any or all of this on the show. I am writing to you today to inform you that I am current with your show, almost, just a few episodes away, but I figured now was a good time to send this off anyways. Starting from episode 2, I followed the usual distribution line from Rogan to Hancock to Carlson to you guys. I started off, as many do, listening to scattered episodes based on interesting titles. This is a few months before you put the back catalog on Spotify, and as I kept listening, something switched, and I had to reroute to the very beginning. Some other things provided impotence along the way. Other podcasts practicing Spanish and rocking out very often to $50 Dynasty. And this is taking me almost 2 years to get caught up. I am so glad I stuck with you guys. It's been a hell of a journey. At first, I felt some resistance to the snaky topics and the length of the episodes, but it turns out it was just the part of me that was raised on and educated and living in the standard model that was insulating me from these ideas. Once I was correctly soldered to the intellectual transformer that is Snake Bros, I was all aboard and ready to earn that certificate of ignorance. Sticking with it certainly increased my cranial capacitance by some unknown percentage, and I am planning to attach my multimeter leads to various parts of my body to try to see if I can glean any data on this. Remembering, of course, the old Mythbuster adage that the only difference between goofing off and science is writing it down. The 2 years it took me to get caught up on your show were big ones for me. I got married, lost 3 grandparents, got a big promotion, and various other lifey things along the way. Thank you for all of the company, the laughs, and rabbit hole ponderings on long work trips and daily commutes. There's a lot more to say, but it's already been said in countless other listener emails. I am currently reading Ancient Monuments of the Mississippi Valley. I may write back soon with some blurbs about that in the near future.
Please do.
I'm planning a trip to Teotihuacan with my wife to go straight to Mexican pyramids. So I'll write back again soon with some blurbs about that. In conclusion, keep on snaking my dudes. Snakes! Thank you, buddy.
Drinking?
Yeah.
I love that email. It was wonderful.
I mistook your username.
That's okay.
Yeah, well,
Clearly drinking is drinking.
You're
all-
so good
every
at
time.
pretending to be drunk while reading.
I have lots of,
he
experience.
he donated to the pyramid scheme and left us a note, and he was like, I'm drinking, and I thought the same. I was like, oh, he's drunk, so I started.
yeah.
But that was his actual username. Hey, I want to give a special shout out to Marley Brush. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hope you're doing well, and thanks for tuning into the channel.
Who are we talking about? What's going on?
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
What-
okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
See,
Sorry.
these
They're
trying to be producers over here. I don't even know what's going on. And no, we are not related to the Allen Bros Apple Orchards and Store.
No, that's not us.
No.
But there is a lot going on in here,
There would be more like
so it's hard to keep
Electric Universe type of things associated with our...
Hey, good morning in Thailand. How's it going over there?
In Thailand, good morning, Three Well Rock.
Okay.
What's next?
Do we have anything else we wanted to respond to from Colin, from Drinking? We'll just say thank you for the email. It was great. And yes, I would love to hear your reports on Ancient Monuments of the Mississippi Valley.
absolutely,
We've
man.
got that book. It's beautiful and fantastic. And if you go down to Teotihuacan, I'd love to hear about it.
And it's cool that you're current, bro.
Yeah,
That's
finally
wow.
got current.
Yeah, good for you.
Awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
We all wish we could be that way.
Jimmy, $2. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimmy. All right. Next from Patrick.
Yeah.
It's King's Chamber Coffer. It says, hey, Snake Bros. Just want to say I'm a huge fan of both podcasts as well as I'm enjoying Kyle's new album. Hey, thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm also in the Discord as Quantum Masshole.
Instant legend. Patrick the Quantum Masshole.
It's a good name. Although I'm quite quiet on the server. I was rewatching BAM, newly
Builders.
narrated by, Builders of the Ancient Mysteries, newly narrated, and they showed the coffer in the King's Chamber. Also, they were talking about the resonance of the structure. The Ark is the voice of God on earth. Whose voice is sound? Could the Ark be the reactor, and how well would it fit in the coffer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this has been said or brought up before. It literally just popped in my head. Keep up the amazing work. Sincerely, Patrick the Quantum Masshole. You
Thank
can
you,
dox
Patrick.
me laughing my asshole off. It was LMA.
Yeah. Thanks, Patrick.
Laughing masshole off.
Yeah, we have discussed this, and the concept that the Ark. I mean, the Ark is an Egyptian style artifact. You see them in Egypt. Same kind of these boxes, the poles,
Yeah.
the dimensions. So, and then of course,
Don't they show like the little ark like boat type thing in front
Yeah.
of the big giant stone box that's standing upright with the pyramidal top?
Hmm.
They have a little display there.
Yeah, that's
Looks like the
that's
Ark,
in. Is that Dendera? No, it's not Dendera. It's Hathor. Isn't that the Temple of Hathor? At the
Okay.
back there, there's that
Yeah.
artifact,
I
and then the
can't
Ark
remember.
in front of it. Yeah.
I can't remember, but I do like this idea that the voice of God is sound, like the Ark is the voice of God on earth. That's kind of cool. Interesting. I don't know, connection there. Just my brain went to like the Big Bang idea. It's like
Oh yeah.
there was, quiet on the waters. Right, and then the voice is like, let there be light, boom. Then there's something. I just wonder sometimes, is like, did they have the same ideas? There was just nothing, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
bam.
Something.
Like the universe came into existence with this massive voice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Next email. So this one's going to be fun to read.
Welcome back.
This is from the old man from scene 23. Okay. It's called Pyramid Build-Off. Good day, my herpetological hombres. Apologies for the omnibus. In other words, sorry for the book, he says. My purpose here is threefold. Firstly, to thank you for the podcast and associated brain expansion. I'm working up to a full 33%, but I'm trying to measure the expansion. But trying to measure the expansion has been difficult. What is the unit of measurement for brain expansion? Cubits? I'm still working on my certificate of ignorance, trying to find a nice, big, highly polished, precision granite box to scratch it onto the side of. The search continues. If you see one, let me know.
I've never seen those.
Secondly, to ask you a question that can only be answered with another question. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Thank you for all the Holy Grail references. I love it, he says.
That's great.
And fifth, yes, 5 is right out. He skips 3 and 4.
All right, 1.
Wait.
Is it? What do you like? Do I have it? No.
He's already got one, you see.
There we go.
I still have not labeled these buttons.
Oh, okay. He says, fifth, 3, sir. My main reason for writing, I, like you, have been pondering the whole pyramid thing. And seeing that there has been a well-documented and established direct linear genetic and technological progression from Homo erectus to Homo sape in 2023, where I insert snorts of derision, I have a cunning plan. I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I'm wondering if I am the only one who has thought of this. So, Egyptologists tell us that they know how they were built. Others say we couldn't even do it now. Well, I want to know, and I can't be the only one. I heard Joe Rogan mention it on the episode with Ben and Jimmy. What we need to do to settle this once and for all is to round ourselves up a couple of billionaires and have ourselves a good old-fashioned contest. 2 teams in a race to build exact replicas of the Great Pyramid of Giza. For example, Jeff Bezos' butt flappers versus Elon Musk's Shamirs. I figured that us super sophisticated and intelligent modern humans should be able to easily replicate what a bunch of copper chisel wielding butt flappers could achieve a few thousand years ago. Right? So, the butt flapper team would be required to build their pyramid with only traditional Dr. Johnson approved copper tools and diorite pounding stones, using only Egyptologist-endorsed quarrying, transportation, and construction methods. They would only be able to employ Egyptologists, archaeologists, sculptards, Bronze Age LARPers, and a workforce of seasonal farmers. The Shamir team will be allowed to use anything they deem necessary. Modern tools, machinery, psychic powers, magnets, resonance, Shamirs, etc. They can employ anyone they want. Engineers, architects, Nefers, astrophysicists, wizards, riggers, longheads, etc. Some basic rules. They must build an exact 1-to-1 scale replica of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Unlimited budgets, because pharaohs were pretty rich dudes. 20-year time limit. No requirement to run an empire or fight off hordes of sea peoples on the side. Teams must use the same building materials as original pyramid, must have the same alignments as original, must use a quarry to source the stone with the same distance and geographical challenges, and must produce a working power plant. Maybe. I think we could totally settle the debate once and for all. I reckon we could talk Elon into it. He seems keen. No, it's not like he's busy or anything. So I have to go so I can do the 72-hour service on my Shamir. It's been playing up a bit, so I'll catch you snaky boys later. Oh yes, and snakes! And final thought, the only real answer is more questions. Yours, pantless and dead. The old man from scene 23. Address is 108 Bridge of Death Road, West Camelot, Atlantis.
Thank you for that email.
That's a silly place.
I love these emails.
Yeah, I think, we should try to contract Boring Company
Boring.
to like, dig us this subterranean chamber. It's like, listen, we need a subterranean chamber for this future pyramid.
Yeah.
We need Boring Company.
Yes, we need Boring. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. We can have Bezos. He could.
Look at these people who think I'm drunk when I've had
He could
two
build-
sips out
Hey,
of this
David
beer.
Cornish, thank you for your email. We answered you, kind of.
Bezos could build the labyrinth. It'd be like a bookstore, right? Start out as a bookstore. There was a couple of things here. Let's see.
What are you looking for?
I have found a
Oh,
really clear quartz arrowhead, Jimmy. Just to let you know.
okay.
In Georgia, not in Texas. Then there was something else. I can't see it.
Okay.
Next one.
Next one. This
From
is from
John?
John. We got a bunch of these from John. So this will be a saga if we get through them.
Episode 100. First and foremost, love the show. Listen every single day. Started with JRE, always looking for podcasts with Graham Hancock and the likes. Found Randall through that search. From that, found Ben from Uncharted X. What's up, Ben? Ben took me for quite the ride, as that made me wonder about the farmers' stone walls of Northeast American. Which brings you to Jim Vieira. Listened to all Ben's videos, and by the end, I found the swapcast you guys did with him. From there, I said, who the hell are these guys? So I found your podcast.
It's pretty standard.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell are these
Who the
guys?
hell are these guys?
What the hell are these guys doing on this?
What are they laughing about?
I started on newer episodes 246. That's probably not right, but I realized I didn't understand half these jokes. Wait, Cosmographia. That's where I started.
Yeah, he's confused. I think this has got to be speech to text, right? He's just saying this because it's one big block
Then
of
said,
text.
no, this is a swapcast with Randall. Where are the snakes? So I went back to episode 2. That was back in the beginning of November. And now, January 26th, I have finally gotten myself to episode 100. You've inspired me to go out onto my own adventures here in New England. I have visited America's Stonehenge in New Hampshire. I consistently go hiking in the woods around to find glacial erratics and to search for random cairns that haven't been found yet. Hoping one day Big Jim V himself walks into my shop and I can talk a while with him. I'm planning to go to the Cosmic Summit. Hey, we'll see you there, buddy.
We'll see you there.
Plan to stop at a few points of interest on the way down and back, including Serpent Mound. Oh my God! Take your butt flap off, spin it around your head like a helicopter.
Petey Pablo.
I am dead. Sorry. Listening to the podcast.
He's listening to the show while writing this, so that he just randomly inserts that.
Hey, some people write how they just think.
Yeah.
I think I do that a little bit.
He's listening to the podcast while
Listening to
taking
Petey
a snake.
Pablo.
My priorities have never been
Slinging his
straighter.
shit around.
It's been nice to have a podcast that touches base on all these subjects that I have questioned and given me questions I have never thought about. Didn't care about cryptids until you guys convinced me to question it. Didn't care about quantum physics or any of that. Still don't. Love learning about it though through you guys. I'm hoping by the time the Cosmic Summit is here, I'll be all caught up with the podcast. I average about 2 or 3 a day.
Hey.
Depends on how many times I rewind it. I'm going to end this now as I feel quite lost and must get back to work. Can't wait for more. Keep up the good work, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
So yeah, this guy's been sending almost a running commentary to the email. So I've selected some of them, not all of them, but some of them. Because it's
I like
clear.
it.
It's
It's
clear to
good.
me as I read through that he's basically like he's listening to the show. He's probably at work or I don't know, but it's playing in the background, and he's trying to write about something he thought of, and then something new happens on the show, and then he starts responding to that. It's hilarious. It's great.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. That's cool.
Okay. Where are we going next?
You're going to Giants.
Yeah, Giants. This is from Sid. I think, yeah. So this is Giants, Dear Snake Bros. Hello from Iowa. I've been listening to you guys for a couple of years now. I found you like many others, from Joe to Randall to your podcast. Let me say that finding about you two and Randall was truly a blessing. There aren't enough guys like you. Thank you. I am at work, so I'm going to keep this brief. Fail. I am a trout fisherman, and I have been exploring northeast Iowa and southwest Wisconsin for a while now. I have walked hundreds of miles of trout streams at this point. I have probably passed by hundreds of mounds at this point unknowingly. I think maybe he means, what do you think? Does he mean like midden mounds?
That's what I thought he meant.
And it could be either, because
Yeah.
there are probably hundreds of them. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
you look at that book.
Yeah.
Monuments of whatever. Can't remember what the other guy mentioned it, but yeah, there's so many.
Yeah. He says, I believe I spotted one last year, and I do plan on going back this spring to see if my hunch is correct. If you two find yourselves in Iowa, I would be more than thrilled to help you achieve a tour of the mounds we have around here. Okay, so he is talking about, yeah. Last year, I visited an area you mentioned in your podcast about the ancient giants of North America, Winona, Minnesota, where giant bones were found. Unfortunately, this cave is filled in nearly up to the ceiling with sand now.
Of course it is.
I was able to see some remnants of carvings on the wall. However, they are very deteriorated.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm probably going to butcher this. Prairie du Chien is one of my favorite areas to go for fishing, for trout, not only for the abundance of fish, but the beauty of it all. You guys specifically mentioned the Indian mounds nearby, and there is no doubt many unexplored and untouched mounds up there.
I bet.
And I would be honored to assist you shall you decide to come up here someday. Sincerely and with much love, Sid. P.S. I was born on 12/13 on a Friday. My favorite numbers growing up were 18 and 33 before I ever knew of their importance. When I heard your podcast about numerology, my mind was blown. Oh, yeah, my zodiac is also the 13th. Zodiac Ophiuchus.
Oh.
Hey.
Wait, so you went to you saw a mound and then you didn't check it out, and you're gonna wait till spring to go, or what was that? What?
Huge mistake.
Well,
Rookie move.
if it was covered in snow. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe there's an
He was
excuse.
fishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Thank you for the email.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What?
If it wasn't covered in snow, if you were fishing and it was not covered in snow and you didn't check it out,
Rookie move.
rookie move.
That's what I was concerned about. That's why I brought it up, because here we like to just keep everybody accounted for. You can't just be
Yeah. You can't just
writing
be.
us,
You can't just say like I was right next to a mountain and
Yeah.
didn't actually go look at it.
So
Oh, yeah,
I
no.
was fishing.
Yeah, we need a better explanation of what was happening here. You need to explain this, because I'm not letting you off the hook.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, bro.
I love it.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not sure.
I think
Not
I was
sure
trying
anymore.
to grill you, so sorry about that.
I'm going to respond to him right now. That is effed up. bro.
Unacceptable.
Okay. Next email from John.
again,
101. The continuation. Well, it was supposed to be about 101. We've gotten to 103 by the time I got back to writing anything. Screw these people that don't laugh at their own jokes. Obviously, they just aren't funny. On a serious note, Lukewarm Guy complained that you two know each other.
Who's lukewarm guy?
Probably somebody we were trashing in episode 103.
there was somebody who claimed that that when Kyle and I said stuff at the same time, it was somehow scripted, and he was like, "This is totally
Yeah, yeah.
fake. It's obviously scripted."
So Lukewarm Guy complained that you two know what each other will say often. Me and my youngest brother always have had an almost telepathic type relationship that we almost always understand what the other one is thinking. I listen to you two because you two are quite similar. Now you bring up the telepathy, LOL. I don't know if...
See, he's listening
yeah.
to the show.
That's
Now you're bringing it up.
Now you're bringing up the telepathy, LOL.
We love
I don't
it,
know
John.
if we would consider you this...
Please keep doing it.
your techno music or what. But the music of the show is what makes people stare at me most as I laugh to myself jamming out working on junk cars.
Yeah. So that's what he's doing. He's working on junk cars in like a mechanic shop.
Yes.
Listening to the show, jamming out, laughing to himself. It's great.
And trying to
This
wipe the
email is
grease
going
off
to get
his fingers.
huge. Sorry,
bend over and type more.
He has to. Well, maybe he's probably wearing those little
Mechanics
little
gloves.
latex gloves. You
Yeah.
just toss them over your shoulder
Yeah.
and behind you.
Yeah.
He says this email is going to get huge if I just keep it open and type something whenever I think of it. So I'm leaving it at this. Slither on, brothers. That's what happens. This is great.
It's great, John. Thank you.
I like this.
Yeah, it's really good.
He's like listening to the show, just typing random stuff when he thinks of it.
Yeah.
He like puts the phone back in, goes back to working on the car, and then he's like, "Oh, I gotta say this too." You just mentioned telepathy.
Thank you, Ancient Sanctum.
Ancient
Really
Sanctum.
appreciate that.
Vape cartridges or beer.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah. Need some new ones. Okay. What are we looking at here? We have one more break.
Oh yeah, we got a break.
Yeah.
Ooh,
We're
it's
taking
break
breaks.
time.
I had no idea we could do breaks on.
break time.
They're not breaks.
I know they're not real breaks.
Everyone's still looking at us.
Well, I actually do need to take
We
a break.
can make that stop. I can turn off the camera.
What should I play? No, I gotta take a break outside.
Okay.
What's happening here? Let's see.
We're waiting on you, babe.
I probably need like.
Throw on Deus.
Oh yeah. All right. Deus. I need about 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
No way. This is not going to be 5 minutes. For Patrick Hicks. I just realized I was
Oh,
repping.
yeah. God, he's really screwed this chat window up.
But I can see it now that it's that big. So that's good.
So you don't have laser eyes like me.
No, I don't.
I can now
And
read,
they're
like-
so watery because the lights. So I'm like, I feel like I need glasses.
You guys are asking. The curtain just covers the door that leaves the studio. Goes directly outside.
They do own premium handmade butt flaps. Courtesy of one of the Allens in Vermont.
Ready?
All right, Kyle's back. We're back. I didn't actually go anywhere, as you guys saw. Thanks for hanging in there. So you can
You
see.
didn't even drink your whole beer yet.
I haven't even barely touched it. I have to be careful, like when I'm. These make me burp, and when I'm reading, can't be
They
having
make
that.
you burp?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't.
You know, be running, be like, well, I was blue. So.
It's good comedy.
No.
Hey, to
I
that
have to be real
question, I
careful.
want to just answer this one more time because I talked while the
What is
music
it?
was playing. But go up a little bit.
Michael, $5. Do you guys own premium handmade butt flaps? And if not, what sizes would be suitable?
Courtesy of one of the Allens in Vermont, Aunt Meg. did make them premium handmade.
But we would
Primo.
take more if that's what you're offering.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll take
they
more.
get dirty.
yeah.
And
we-
you
Butt
have
flaps
to have
do not stay
something-
premium for long.
You have to have something while you're washing the other butt flap. So
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, laundry day.
I don't know.
Well,
anything-
I mean, you throw it in the butt flap basket.
That's right.
And then
it goes in the butt flap basket. That's right.
And then amazingly, it ends up in your
You
cave,
leave,
hanging up.
and you come back and it's
And
hanging
it's
up
ready to
clean.
go.
It's amazing.
I know. That's weird. I've noticed that at this house too. Yeah. Oh no, wait, it's me.
Okay.
Beautiful.
This is a short one from Andrew. It's called Todd's younger brother. Todd Mulville. What's up, Snake Bros? This is Andrew, Todd's younger, better-looking brother. I love the podcast, love the music. The new album is epic, and the old stuff still kicks ass. Just wondering if you dudes would be interested in seeing a UAP video that I captured a few years ago while I was elk hunting southeast of Skinwalker Ranch. Let me know. You dudes kick ass. Keep up the great work. From Andrew.
Hey, dude, high five.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
We'll
bro.
take a look at it.
If it's a UAP, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I will. So there's a question. $5 from Anzu Love. Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Says, loving the live. Kyle, what's the likelihood for you to post Deos, but the Cosmo version? The guitar is more prominent. Would like to hear it. Hey.
Is the Cosmo version different?
Is
Is
the
it?
guitar more prominent?
There's a lot of differences. It's definitely different.
Yeah. It's a
I would totally post that. Yeah.
All right.
Where should I post it? In the Patreon? That'd be.
Well, you can-
Are you?
Yeah,
in the-
yeah. She's in the Patreon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll post it there.
and
for
somebody also requested.
Take a note.
Yeah.
Remind me,
Right.
because I'll forget.
Because the other one, somebody also.
Well, yeah. Obviously,
take a
you
note.
won't remember.
I won't.
I'm on it, guys.
Thanks,
Somebody
babe.
also requested. They asked what song, and I asked you about it. They had a bit of the lyrics, and you told me what it was. That needs to go on the Patreon as well.
Boxed up memories.
Yes.
See how I just used the mute button there for my burp? Yeah, I'll post. We can post those.
If you guys are talking about the burps and then making the sound effects of the burps, what's the
I
point
didn't
of
make
trying
a
to
sound
hide
effect.
the burps?
I muted it.
I know, but he's making the sound effect. You're talking about it. What's the point of hiding them if we're just
Because-
if it's
yeah,
burp
because-
talk anyway?
No. Yeah. No. It's you do not want like for people who are listening to this, you do not want to be.
I love you,
know-
Laura. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
She's just like, just burp.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not what she's saying. We totally misunderstood. Anyway, so let's move on with the emails here. Snake boot on the ground. This one's a book. From Buttflap James. Says, Snake Bros, I was only at episode 30 when I wrote in for the first time. Imagine my surprise 9 months later on episode 240 when I finally heard it. Thank you. Not sure if you'll remember me, but I'm your snake boot on the ground in South America. Now I have your request, Russ, to examine the Samaipata megalith. Thankfully, I only slithered as far as Peru, and while I've had to return to the UK to replenish my bank account, I will certainly head on over to Samaipata when I get back to Bolivia.
Heck yeah.
I've been posting many photos of curiosities from South America in the awesome Discord channel, particularly about Nazca, megaliths, and nubs. There's some great discussions going on in there. One curiosity, though, I have no photos for. While I was in Lima, I made some new friends, and to my surprise and delight, the conversation quickly turned to UFOs. And I was bombarded with stories of strange lights in the sky, and they told me sightings tend to be concentrated in regions not far from the city. Regions that are famous among Peruvians for being supernatural. One of these hotspots is called Maracajosi. I'm probably butchering that. On a plateau about 400 or 4,000 meters or 13,000 feet elevation and about a day's journey to the east. The other is a small beach town in the desert, a few hours south of Lima, named Chilca. One of my friends happened to have a beach house there, so there we went for a weekend of beers and skywatching. Our hopes were dashed the first night as the cloud cover was total. It even rained, which is crazy.
still have beers.
Yeah. Hopes not totally dashed. It even rained, which is a crazy rare occurrence. The second night, despite still being cloudy, was far more interesting. The beach was completely deserted. The only light sources to speak of were from our campfire and a couple of houses perched on the edge of a headland cliff about 600 meters or 2,000 feet to the north of us. By 11 p.m., we'd almost lost hope of seeing anything. Well, I mean, the night has just begun, bro. At 11 p.m., come on. But then, very undramatically, one of my friends pointed out a white light over the ocean. We were all sure it wasn't there earlier. It was low, just above the horizon. Probably a boat, we thought. Then a second white light blinked on to the left of it. To give an idea of spacing, if the moon is 1/2 of a degree of arc in the sky, then these two lights were about 4 degrees apart. We observed for 15 minutes, looking for any kind of movement. During those 15 minutes, the second light blinked off and on randomly at long intervals. I suspected if we were seeing new ships coming over the horizon, then wave action might be blocking the line of sight between us. This effect, I suggest, would be fast and regular, not lasting minutes at a time like it was. Then we noticed the color of the second light. The color of the second light had turned slightly reddish, and they appeared to be closing in on each other, albeit very slowly. Then the reddish light did something boats don't do. It climbed higher. Not by much, but enough to notice. After a few more minutes, it disappeared for good, leaving only the first white light, which remained on the horizon. After an hour watching it travel slowly north, something in my peripheral vision caught my attention. A light was flashing up on the cliff near those houses. I looked and saw nothing. The lights from the houses were still on, and so too were a couple of yard lights outside the houses. Everything was still and silent. Then it happened again, but this time I was looking right at it. One of the white lights, which I assumed was one of the yard lights, began darting around in an oval pattern. It was going back over itself so fast that it appeared like a shape. It's difficult to describe, but imagine you shone a laser pointer at a wall and repeatedly spun it around. If you're fast enough, you can make a circle or an oval appear. That's what it looked like, but much thicker than a laser point. I'd say it was about the size of a basketball and white in color. And the diameter of the oval shape, roughly 25 meters or 80 feet, though it's hard to judge this precisely. It was visible for about 2 seconds, and then it vanished. I didn't say a word to anyone. At first, my brain was trying to think of a rational explanation. 30 seconds later, it appeared again. This time, further up the hill and slightly over a brow, so I could only see the top half of the oval shape as it was whizzing around. It only lasted for 1 or 2 seconds before vanishing for the last time. I was stunned. For the record, on this night, I was totally sober. I'd only drank 2 beers at sunset. The only plausible explanation I can think of is that a person shining a really powerful torch at the ground, that's a flashlight to you guys, but it was just too fast for that, impossibly fast, and over too large of an area. No person could move their wrist or arm that fast with a laser pointer, let alone a powerful, bulky torch, which it had to have been to be that bright. And there was no acceleration time. It went from totally still to whizzing in circles instantly. It's amazing how much you doubt your own mind when you see something like this. But I saw it, and I'm so happy I did. I'd love to know if anybody has seen this before. I've heard stories of UFOs changing directions as if they had no inertia, but never spinning around in circles at ridiculous speeds. I'm not sure if it's even worth mentioning this, but as I was watching the light over the sea, in my head I asked if they could show themselves to me, and in such a way as to remove any doubt that the phenomena exists. Maybe they obliged me. Any thoughts? Thanks again for what you do, Warm and Fuzzies, your snake boot on the ground, butt flap James.
Thank you, buddy.
Came for the pyramids, stayed for the aliens. That was very cool.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
descriptive, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was. I know how it is to see something in the sky and just think about it forever and just ponder. What was that? What do we see?
Yeah.
Then
I mean, yeah. And I would say at the end there, your question about, asking for something and something like that happened, this is not an uncommon story. That kind of thing has taken place. I've read many accounts that are similar.
This
Yeah.
is my first hearing that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And also, the way you're like estimating degrees of arc and all that kind of stuff, that's great. That's really good. Really good stuff. The flashing lights, man, I've definitely seen a lot of that kind of stuff. And I watched one not too long ago. Remember, I was sitting out there and I was telling you how I was timing it.
Oh, yeah.
And how the times were pretty regular, and then suddenly it just became irregular flashing and then went back. And then I noticed another one over here, and it just seemed to be in the same position. But there's been some that I've seen doing this, but also moving slowly, like you were saying, like slowly moving to the north or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen. I would say on the circling thing or the oval, if it was a person doing this with a light far away, you probably wouldn't even notice that it was circling.
Yeah.
Because their arm,
Yeah, I can see what
is
you're
just so,
saying.
unless they had it on like some giant rope,
Yeah.
because it would be, from far away, what you would see is flashing whenever the light pointed at
absolutely.
you.
Right.
You wouldn't actually see the light source, the flashlight that far away just wouldn't.
Right. It would just look like it was.
I mean,
flashing.
like, think about being on the beach. You're walking on the beach, and the sun goes down, and it gets dark, and you see flashlights way off in the distance, because at the beach you can see a long way, and the way they move around, you just see the whoosh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the little flashes when the light is actually pointed
at you. Yeah.
So I definitely don't think that was just a person holding something. I agree with your assessment there.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
I love also the idea that this is a place that has long been considered, haunted or
Yeah.
supernatural. That's also classic with the UFO stuff. These things go together. These kinds of sightings often happen at places that have long been considered spiritual places. It's just
That's cool.
So is it a UFO, or is it actually, more of a paranormal phenomena, or are they? There's just a massive overlap there.
Yeah. Now, close to the horizon lights, man, I mean,
Yeah, they do weird things.
I've been out at ranches and stuff, and at night I've seen some weird lights in the distance close to the horizon doing something, and then eventually I figured out it was like a vehicle that kept looked like it was like
yeah.
driving back and around like a road or something, because the light would move and then it would flash real bright, and then
Yeah.
it was like when it was facing me, but it seemed to be making a similar pattern over and over.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? For a long time. Eventually I figured out it was a car. So I don't know.
Great report, though. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
looking forward to, when you get back to Bolivia, hearing what you think of the megalith there, the Samipata megalith, for sure. You got the next one?
I lost where we were.
Neville,
What date?
February 2nd,
Do we have an end time that we're shooting for?
10 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting close.
Yeah.
We started at 8. 10 o'clock.
Bees! Bees! That's the title of this email by Neville. Says, hi again, guys. Further to the below email. Oh, should I have read that one?
No, yeah, read the first one.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. All right. Wow.
Yes, books.
Hi, Russ and Kyle. I've been slowly making my way through your back catalog of Brothers of the Serpent episodes, and I am currently listening to number 244. In the beginning of the show, you mentioned your bees again and some questions you have about their apparent confusion. I would highly recommend that you read The Invisible Rainbow by Arthur Furstenberg, specifically Chapter 16, Bees, Birds, Trees, and Humans. It explains how electromagnetic and RF pollution is wreaking havoc on all life forms, especially those more finely tuned to the Earth's magnetic field, like migrating birds and bees, by affecting their innate navigation systems, among other things. It is as disturbing as it is enlightening. Every time I've heard you mention them in the past episodes and you're losing entire hives inexplicably, I have wanted to comment about it, but I thought it might be too far off topic. But I would truly love to hear you both present a book report on this book, or I would at least like to hear your feedback on it. I think it speaks directly to how a civilization can advance to the point where its own technology can unknowingly cause its demise, and not necessarily in an overt atomic explosion kind of way, but in a more subtle and insidious and ultimately just as detrimental way in the long term. One of these days, future archaeologists will no doubt be totally perplexed over the collapse of our civilization, just as we are today about past civilizations. But the lost technology that may or may not have contributed to it will probably no longer be around to be detected, and therefore represent a huge missing piece of the puzzle. It's an interesting connection there. Alternatively, we may wise up and recognize the implications and learn to better govern its use, or otherwise learn to mitigate against it and adapt accordingly. Then we might look back on these dark ages of technological folly and wonder how we could have been so reckless and ignorant of our own actions that we would risk driving the pollinators with whom we symbiotically share this planet to extinction and thereby risk our own. There is a quote attributed to Albert Einstein, and he quotes, "If the bee disappeared off the surface of the globe, then man would have only 4 years of life left. No more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, no more animals, no more man." End quote. And no more snakes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Cockroaches will be fine.
Keep up the good work, guys. In this world of superficial and artificial distractions promoted by the MSM, your awareness of alternative subject matter and your willingness to pursue it give me hope for future generations. P.S. If you do by chance read this on the show, please only use my first name, which is Neville Johnson. And then he sends another one. "Hi again, guys. Further to the below email, I want to mention that I'm actually from the Cayman Islands, but I spend a lot of my time in Austin anymore as my wife and kids live there. I would love to have the opportunity to meet you both and philosophize about our mysterious past over some beers or rum. If you ever are up for it, I would be happy to drive out to high atop the Edwards Plateau while I'm there. Otherwise, if there are any meetups planned in the Austin area, please let me know. Or if you feel like taking a trip to Cayman, I have a mostly empty house here, and I would be happy to host you if the timing works out. Sincerely, Neville in the Caymans. Last time we were there, I almost died of drinking."
Wait, yes.
No, that wasn't
We
the
almost
was
killed
that the
ourselves.
Last time you were there? I guess you went after our honeymoon another time. But the last
Let me
time
tell you
I
guys,
was there,
snorkeling while drunk on whiskey.
oh, it sounds horrible.
dude.
Sounds horrible.
The only antidote was hair of the dog.
That's right. Yeah.
Last time I was there was
mean,
on the honeymoon.
how
and
long
that was just a. Kyle and I are still in love, but our honeymoon
Oh, it was a disaster, folks.
disaster.
Don't base the success of your marriage off of your honeymoon, because, I mean...
But that's the last time I was in the Caymans, so yes, I'm down.
How long were we there?
I'd like a
5
remake.
days?
Yeah, we were there for like a week.
Yeah. I can't even remember because we got drunk on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Hammered
that was
on the
it.
plane.
We were
You
just
drunk
hammered.
The whole time. Oh
I'm
my
trying to go
God.
through customs, and I'm acting all suspicious because I'm fucking,
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out
Wasted.
to Evan, man.
Evan, yeah.
Evan
Harlan.
Harlan. Oh,
Yeah.
God. That was
Our
so
buddies
much
down
fun.
there. We were just blitzed the entire time. It was a lot of fun.
It was. So, yeah, we might take you up on that.
I'd like to see it sober when I can remember it.
I remember the blowholes.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the bees stuff. It is interesting there. So, okay, I'll say a couple of things about this. Maybe part of the ag update, but our bees now are doing fine. This is what happened. We moved all the hives and they were upset. Obviously, there are ways that you can kind of mitigate that confusion, and we did them. It worked because they didn't leave the hive. We lost a few because some of them get lost. They leave the hive. They get lost. It's usually the old foragers, right? So bees go through this long, the worker bees go through this long, I don't want to give a big dissertation here, but they go through a life cycle, and they start out only working in the hive, and then they graduate through multiple stages there, like doing bigger and bigger or different jobs until finally they become a forager. Then they're outside, and the old foragers are very used to where the hive was before we moved it. And so I was kind of expecting that we were going to lose some of them, and we did. And each hive lost a small, like a fist-size handful of bees. And I could tell because they all gathered in the spot where the hives used to be, and they made a little ball of bees. And they just never left that spot, and there was nothing I could do about it. The problem is when you get a giant ball of bees there, which means they've all gone trying to go back to where the hive. That didn't happen, right? So, yes, they lost a few foragers. But this year they're doing great. They're waking back up after the winter is over. They're clearly hatching a ton of eggs.
Well, that's good.
They're when it's warm, they're doing lots of work. I've got new different feeders on there. Anyway, we haven't lost a hive in a long time, and it's because we just had to learn how.
we didn't know what we were doing.
We didn't know what we were doing, and in the early years when other people were taking care of them, they were opening the hives all the time and constantly messing with the bees, and you don't want to do that with a new hive. You need to give them time to settle in.
And to be fair here, we lost hives because they swarmed and left.
Right.
I think
Never had
one hive collapsed. Or
Yeah,
maybe
but-
they had a massive battle. We don't really know.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of dead bees.
Right.
But all the other times, they just left.
Yeah.
And we saw them. Like, they would collect, like you're saying, in
Yeah.
a giant ball, and they just move on. They didn't.
And that usually means that they have a new home and it's being disturbed too much and they don't think it's
Yeah.
safe and they leave, right? So
Yeah.
once we figured that out and we stopped bothering them so often and basically let them take care of themselves, then they started to establish themselves. And now we have 4 hives that are very well established. I've been stacking new hive boxes on top. They're getting really tall now. The hives are
Yeah.
big, healthy, and it's great. So we haven't lost any. And that's just about being a bad beekeeper, which basically means a beekeeper that doesn't know to let the bees take care of themselves. I think we're not trying to. And there's different things, like commercial beekeepers are trying to make honey, trying to get
Well,
honey.
but they're also pollinating. Like, there are trucks
Yeah,
that just drive around to different orchards and stuff and just, like, open it. They're full of hives. They just
Right.
set them all out.
let them pollinate.
Then they move them
Right.
to another place and set them all out and let them pollinate. Like,
Yeah.
they're it's...
Wow.
And that's fine. That the danger area in moving a hive is within 2 miles.
Yeah.
If you can move it more than 2 miles, any bee, including the old foragers, come out and they see a completely new environment and they know they have to reorient. But if you just need to move the hive like half a mile or 500 feet or whatever, that's when it gets tough because they're still in the environment that they recognize, and so they'll go back to where the old hive was after they've gone out to forage, right? So they go out, they find a flower, they turn around, and their orientation takes them to where the old hive was because they're still in the same place, basically. But if you take them miles away outside of that area, they won't do that. So we had the hardest kind of move, and we did it successfully. It just took a while for them to calm
Yeah.
down.
And the ones that, didn't like it, they just buzz off.
Wow, this was a big bee lesson here at Snake Bros tonight. That was good.
And always,
We went over the bees with a fine-tooth comb.
yeah. And I always keep in mind that I'm constantly watching them and trying to learn from their behavior, and also telling myself, like, I don't know what some of this stuff means. Like for a while, just before the winter started, I was getting worried that they were being attacked because these things that did not look like normal bees were coming in and out of the hive. And then I did a bunch of research, and I'm like, those are the males. They're going out to procreate. It was like that hive had decided that all of its males were going to be coming in and out, and going out to fertilize. But they look totally different from regular
That
bees.
hive's males were like, thank God.
Yeah, they were like, let's get out of here, guys. We don't want to be stuck in
We
here for the
joined
winter.
the right hive.
Yeah. Anyway, there's lots of, and I agree that that
Now we just tell them, be yourself.
be yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself.
Man.
Yeah.
So many bad jokes. Okay. It is 10 o'clock. I'll do one more. It's real short.
Do we need to do any PayPal or
Producers. Yeah. Well, I did want to do the Patreon producers for sure. Oh, this is
Thanks,
real quick.
honey.
Yeah. Thanks, producer. This is real quick, Kyle. Info requested from episode 720. ITM, fellas. Hey, thank you for your courage.
ITM?
Could you rad dudes pass along the deets where you purchased the dock you discussed in the episode?
Ooh.
I think you were installing it in a pond at the winery. I am also needing a do-it-yourself dock for work. Stay safe. Snakes. Thanks. So there we go. This is one of the ones where Grumpy Morning Russ was like, I don't want to write this guy back, but I will read it on the show, and then Kyle can tell him what he needs to know.
Yeah, I'll find it. Hold on.
So, Kyle's looking up producers. I'm going to pull up
No,
some stuff.
I'm looking up this doc.
Oh, okay. I do want to do the producers from Patreon. Let me check this real quick.
I thought I just got an email from them. I keep, because I looked up so many dang doc companies, people. Pond King. No, is that it? Wait a minute. Maybe that's not it. These people are sending me an email.
Hey, thanks to Matt Shy and Peter Shell. Peter, if you're still in the chat, thank you, buddy. Both Matt and Peter are executive producers
Thank you.
for this episode, live listener communications. And Daniel Gandy is associate executive producer. These people are supporting us through Patreon. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate it, you guys.
So yeah, the live was fun. Almost done here.
Love the live.
We're waiting for Kyle.
I love live.
Yeah, this has been fun.
It has been fun. Even though Kyle completely messed up the chat window.
Jack Docs.
Hey.
Jack Docs. That's it. www.jackdocs.com.
Hey, check it out.
Great.
Is he executive
yeah,
or
I'm-
associate or what?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're talking about the docs. Okay. I thought you were
God,
looking up
man.
producers. I'm completely lost.
You're drunk.
yeah. Totally hammered.
Yeah, I hadn't even looked.
He looks down.
He hasn't even hardly drank any of it. We got an executive producer, Clear Skies LLC.
Ah,
Clear skies.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is. No note. $100.
thank you.
Thank you, Clear Skies. I think that's... Oh, did we do this one? Can't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay. Another executive producer. If you've already been an executive producer, I don't think you have, but
again.
you're getting it again.
Lucky you.
Jeffrey Lloyd. He says, I started your podcast in April of 2022 from episode 2 and haven't skipped a sode. It has truly been a journey, and I'm halfway through 201, the 200th episode.
Aha.
Can't wait till you hear the song at the end of that one, buddy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
What you all do is so special. Extra thanks to Archer for reasons I can't fit here. Oh, yeah. Snakes! I think I did read that.
Did you?
Extra.
I don't remember that at all.
Don't ask me.
Thank
Doesn't
you.
matter. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jeffrey.
And also thanks to everybody in the chat. I couldn't pay nearly as much attention to it as I wanted to, reading the emails.
So
Thank you guys
disappointing.
for hanging out, trolling us.
Yes, we
Thank you
appreciate
for
It was
all
fun.
the thank you for all the donations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for everybody who supports the show.
This is great. Are we
Do
calling
we
it?
have any more? Yeah, we're about to call it. Were there any more donations?
Yeah,
that we
there was
missed?
one up here. I don't remember it being mentioned, but I did step out. This one.
Ah, Rex.
Another one
$10.
from Rex.
Hour 11. It's going to be amazing. He's an 11er.
He's an 11er, dude. What's up, Rex?
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, we met him in Sedona. Hope you're doing well, bud.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
everybody. That was a great time.
Those
Thank
are
you,
the
Laura, for
Thanks,
joining us.
guys.
Yeah. Brothersoftheserpent.com for all the podcast related stuff. There still is an update pending for the website. Hopefully it'll be much better. I've seen some preliminary stuff on the new website. It's going to be great, I think.
Cool.
Brothersoftheserpent@gmail.com. If you want to email us, if you can manage to sneak one past Grumpy Morning Russ, it'll get read on the show. Otherwise, I do read them all. I just don't read them all on the show. But thank you guys so much for all the emails. Keep writing us. We really appreciate it. Anything else?
I love you.
Always have.
Get back to work.
Always will.
Oh.
Good night.
I
Adamu.
keep screwing it
Good
up,
night,
guys.
Adamu.
So
Now
what
you
can I say?
Okay, so I say. Kyle says
I
we
used to
love
be
you.
so good at it.
We love you.
Always have.
Always will.
Good night, Adamu.
Get back to work. Hey.
We did it.
When do I get to say I love you the most, though?
Right now.
I love you the most.
There you go.
We'll get the hang of this.
0 mistakes. We're professionals, folks.
Mwah.
Thanks so much for joining on the live. The audio version of this will come out in a couple of days. And then you can listen to it again.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.